Hello. Today is the feast of the Exaltation of the Cross, September 14th, 2025. Today we celebrate the exaltation of the cross. To exalt means to lift or lift up, like in altitude. Today's readings do offer us insight about Christ's cross. Now, this is Christianity 101, but let's go over it again. We are saved by Jesus' cross. Or to be a bit more precise, by Jesus crucified, Jesus on the cross. And it's that simple. Let's look, quote, "And just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the desert, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, so that everyone who believes in him may have eternal life." John 13, 14, and 15. This is just the two verses before the favorite John 3:16. We know that when Jesus said lifted up, he meant the literal hoisting of his body above the ground because of his choice of words, just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the desert. That's a direct reference to today's first reading from Numbers. The Israelites had been grumbling against Moses and God, and as a result, God, to their thinking, sent poisonous serpents among them who bit and killed people. When the people repented, Moses did a very strange thing. Actually, it was God's idea, but it's still strange. Quote, "Make a bronze seraph and mount it on a pole, and if any who have been bitten look at it, they will live." Numbers 21:8. Now, how merely looking at an image of a serpent of all things would heal anybody is not explained, but it worked. See Numbers 21:9. Jesus alludes to this exact passage when he says the Son of Man must be lifted up. So this ain't no symbolic lifting. It's as real as being hoisted on a pole. This is why Paul of Tarsus, who actually knew quite a few things, could say to the church in Corinth, "I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified." 1 Corinthians 2:2. That was all he needed to know or to preach. Catholics are occasionally asked why our churches always have a prominent life-sized crucifix directly above the altar, as opposed to a more positive image like Jesus risen. There are several reasons, but the best one may be from today's reading. Quote, "So must the Son of Man be lifted up, so that everyone who believes in him may have eternal life." It's just that simple. One final disambiguation note. Pope Leo personally carried a large cross with the image of the risen Christ on it at the recent World Youth Day. There's a link to this below for YouTube. So, yes, we do believe in a crucified and risen Jesus. I know that. And he's the Pope, and he can do anything he wants.